And part of doing this global engagement is not only for the sake of developing global leaders, but it's also for the sake of us as an organization changing and developing into a place where we will continue to be relevant to our changing communities. The reason why we've been able to advance this work to the level that we have is because we have a CEO, the kind of CEO that we have.
Absolutely.
I don't think, I truly believe that this work would have stayed maybe as one program or as one initiative and probably not aligned and not have the priority that it has in our organization if our CEO wasn't supportive. So, that to say that this work needs the support at all levels.
30 years ago, I was a youth delegate at the Estes Park World Alliance meeting, the last time I was held in Estes Park. And, there was, it was a little different time. There was still protests around civil rights, and there were still other things going on in the world. There was a big movement among the youth delegates for disarmament, even unilateral disarmament of weapons. And that didn't sit very well with the elders of the World Alliance, and so it was a real interesting kind of conflictual debate that took place. And what I guess I felt was the leveraging of the power of that youth group was missed a little bit. And it's given me an interest in trying to see that the leverage that you guys bring and the leadership that you bring and the life experiences that you bring to this are respectfully engaged in a process that moves our YMCA forward. I think you're right about Seattle in a lot of ways. I mean, it has a progressive outer layer, if you will, and that it's oftentimes extraordinarily and what I would say is, my observation coming from somewhere else is that politeness sometimes gets in the way of good conversations. And so the conversation around race, the conversation around inequities, some of those conversations are not engaged because people want to be polite.
Yeah.
And so what I hope comes out of this too is that you and the other youth delegates bring a certain amount of directness to this, and maybe a little bit of edge even to this, so that we can talk about the things where we need to continue to make progress, instead of everybody just saying, it's all great. It's all great. That's part of the disruption. If we're going to have social advancement, we've got to have disruption.
Sure.
It doesn't come from just politely ignoring everything.
I think this is great. I mean, I think the collaborating with all of you and being exposed to your leadership as well as the leadership of our mentors, I think is really going to, prepare us and equip us to step into these roles in the future, as well as being in Prague and, interacting with people there from different countries. I'm excited about the weekly and monthly interactions with all of you and with our mentors. We can kind of see what it's like to be in those positions of leadership, and I think those will prepare us.
Clearly in this YMCA, global excellence is not a project or a program. It is who we are.
I think a youthful approach to this, courageous, unabashed, direct, edgy, is part of what helps get the conversation back on the table. And we need that.
This delegation to Prague, and you all going as well, it was a strategy, and it is a strategy for you to come back and serve in an association-wide team that can help me in leading this work and developing strategies specifically for young adults, but also for the youth that are going. The expectation was that they were going to come back and serve on our boards and bring that voice to our local branches.
There's some very courageous work being done all around the world, and so I think, if nothing else, the inspiration that you'll feel from being with young people like yourselves, that are positioned in organizations to make change in their communities and in their countries in some ways, is an extraordinary experience, and it'll change the way you view the world.